Hey, what's happening? Brian Willett here. As most of you know, I work in higher education. I work with schools and universities, colleges, technical schools, you name it. And I work with their admissions teams and their financial planning teams and really anybody within the institution and help them work on their soft skills, their people skills, their communication skills to be more influential when working with each other as well as working with prospective students. And so what I want to talk about today is this whole student loan fake crisis. And the reason I call it a fake crisis is because people are making it bigger than it actually is. And so let me explain what I mean by that. Is there an exorbitant amount of student loan debt? Absolutely. Should the government be giving student loans to 18-year-olds? That's to be debated. I'm not here to debate that today. That's what it is today, okay? The government allows, okay, people to take out loans. Even if they've never taken out any credit ever, they allow students to take out loans. Now, I'm not here to debate that. That's just what it is, okay? What I'm here to talk about today, though, is what the numbers really say. Is there really a crisis out there, or is it something that's being perpetuated by the media? And if you work in higher education, and I'm speaking to you folks out there specifically, that this has been made up to be something bigger than it really is. And what I want to do is I want to take you to a website called studentloanhero.com. Now, studentloanhero.com is a website. They are an advocacy group. They work with people to eliminate debt. They work with people to prevent debt, and all that's good. I'm not saying here I want you to take on debt to pursue your education, but what I do want is I want people to have access to education in whatever the ways possible. And I want them to go to whatever school that makes sense for them that they can be successful at. And not everyone can be successful at a community college, okay? I'm a perfect example of that. At 18 years old, it wasn't the type of structure that I needed to be successful. I needed to be in smaller classes, more one-on-one attention, and someone that kind of coaches me along the way. At 18 years old, that's what I needed. So everybody has a different path towards their education, and I just don't want to limit access to people because we've created this fake crisis. And let me tell you why I call it a fake crisis. I'm going to take you to that website now and show you why I call it a fake crisis. All right, and so let me minimize this a little bit. So this is studentloanhero.com, and let's just look here, okay? It says in 2019, Americans are more burdened by student loan debt than ever, okay? Let's get into the facts, though. Among the class of 2018, 69% of college students took out student loans. Okay, we kind of already knew that. And they graduated with an average debt of $29,800. So let's just look at that, $29,800. Okay, the chances are they've taken on a 4-year degree in most cases, or at least a 2-year degree. And now they just put themselves in position to go from, let's just say, a certain earning category, $25,000 or less, into a new category because of the student loan debt, where they're now probably qualified to make 30, 35, 40,000. Again, you can look at the averages online. I'm not going to get into that today. All right. Their parents took out an average of $35,600 in Federal Plus loans. Again, the parents have to get involved, especially with 18-year-olds, in helping finance their education if they're going to a school that exceeds the amount of loans and grants, if you qualify for them, that the prospective student qualifies for. So let's break it down even more. All right, so here's the big number, right? Everyone's talking about this $1.56 trillion in total U.S. student loan debt. Okay, 44.7 million Americans have student loan debt. Okay, now let's look at these average monthly student loan payments are $393. Now, I know people, okay, that pay $393 in phone bills and cable services. Okay? We're talking about education here. Okay? Education that gives you access, okay, to lifelong earnings. Think about that. Lifelong earnings. 40 years plus a working career. You take on some debt early on to be able to now go into a job that gets you onto the ladder And then once you get into that position, based off your basic skill sets, you now are able to increase your earnings over 40 years. So think about that. That's one of the things people are not putting in perspective. Lifetime value, okay? A lot of times lifetime value is used in relation to what's the lifetime value of a customer. I'm saying, what's the lifetime value of an investment into a student loan if you finish your education and then you work for the next 40 years? It's significant, okay? Let's look at, again, some more numbers here. Let me scroll down here. Okay, here's the number I like. Average debt at graduation from public and nonprofit colleges was $28,650. Again, not that significant, an increase of 1%. 66% of graduates from public colleges had loans of $25,500. Again, basically 1 year salary, probably less than 1 year salary. 75% of graduates from private nonprofit colleges had loans, average debt of $32,300. Now, let's talk about private nonprofit colleges. Now, the chances are if you go to a private nonprofit college, you're going to pay more money. And the reason you are is because they got smaller classrooms. You're going to be in a room where you probably have more access than you would at a state school or even a community college. So you're going to have access to those faculty members. Okay, and there's a whole host of other benefits, but I want to point out one in particular, and that is that people who graduate from nonprofit privates, I want to say they have like a 68% on average graduation rate. So just think about that. If you go to a private nonprofit, the chances of you graduating significantly increases based off the level of service you get. And you know, there's some demographics out there talking about the types of students that those schools get and everything. But the bottom line is you get more services. It costs you more, but you get more services. That's called life. Okay? If you want more services, you typically pay for it. I live in a full service building, okay? I'm paying for those extra services that I'm getting, okay? That's just reality. Let's see, 88% of graduates from for-profit colleges had loans of $39,950. Now, let's take a look at that. For-profit colleges taking a lot of heat in the market or in the public. And the bottom line is those for-profit colleges typically get you through quicker. Anything that you want to spend money on, okay, that you get to a destination quicker, usually costs you more money. You're paying for an increase. You're paying more quicklier, okay, to get through the program. I hope I'm saying that right. But you're paying a premium because you're going to get through quicker, which gives you access to these new jobs, these new careers quicker. So you start earning money much more quicker. All right. Let's see, about 15% of the student loan debt held by graduating class of 2017 was private. Let's see, 48% of borrowers who attended for-profit colleges default within 12 years compared to 12% of public college attendees and 14% of nonprofit college attendees. I point this out only because, again, for-profit colleges have taken a lot of heat. But again, let's go back to the demographics of the students that for-profit colleges are working with. Typically underemployed, a lot of financial strain, a lot of other constraints on their ability to get through school. I'm not going to get into that. I'm just talking about student loan debt in general. So here's some private loan statistics. 7.8 billion in 14 and 15, up from 5.2 billion. Again, we can get into all of these statistics and the averages, okay? You see combined undergraduate and graduate debt by degree, MBA, Master of Education, Master of Science, Law, Medicine and Health Sciences, and all those things. Again, it goes on and on and on. The bottom line is we've created now, culture has come a long way. Higher education has come a long way. If you go back 30, 40 years ago, prior to the Montgomery GI Bill, college access wasn't for everybody. You had to be either really smart or really wealthy, okay? And now with the amount of higher education that's out there, anyone who wants access to it can get it, as long as they're willing to pay for it. And I have yet to see any statistic, okay, other than people who go to school, take on debt, and don't finish, They take on debt and they don't finish, meaning they don't get access and the benefits to that college education and the careers that it opens up. Those are the only people that are not seeing a return on investment on that student loan debt. Okay, everyone else sees a return. Now, are some people, you got to borrow smart. I agree with that. You got to borrow smart. Working in higher education the last 20 years, I've watched people take on money, to pay for housing expenses. I've watched people decide to attend a school that's, 20 minutes up the street, but they decide to live on campus. Now, there's all kinds of different ways to eliminate costs while you're attending school. But the bottom line is students have to get access to colleges where they can be successful. The bottom line is you can't be successful everywhere. There's certain structures, there's certain schools that are a good fit for everybody that people can then have. It's no different than an organization. I've watched it for years, hiring and firing people that, some people can come into a culture and be really, really successful. And then some people have had great success at other places and come into a new culture and they just can't be successful for whatever reason. Could be the dynamics, could be personalities, there's a lot of reasons. And so student loan debt gives everyone access. You take on a little debt because you know it's going to pay off in the future. And so I just wanted to point out that this student loan fake crisis, and I believe it is a fake crisis, because again, if you look at the breakdown of student loan debt, a majority, okay, I want to say anywhere from 60 to 70% of people are falling into that $25,000 to maybe $35,000 range, which is not that much money. Okay, a lot of times it's a 1-year salary. Everyone is making it to be bigger than it is. I believe it's propaganda out there that the mortgage companies and the car loan companies are saying that this student loan debt crisis is a bigger deal than it is because they're no longer reaping the benefits from recent college graduates buying cars and buying homes. But that's another story for another day. So here's where I want to end is student loan debt crisis, fake crisis is my opinion. Okay, you can agree or disagree. I'd love to hear your thoughts. Secondly, borrow smart. If you're looking to pursue higher education, borrow smart. Go to where you can be successful. And whatever it costs, wherever that success is, okay, you got to go there, whatever it costs is my advice. If you have any comments, thoughts, I'd love to hear them. Make it a great day.